welcome to Politics Today. Well, let's start up first with our headline today. Our focus on the program. Kogi Assembly leadership drama heightens as lawmakers hold plenary. Despite House of Representatives' strong move on possible takeover. Thank you for joining in, everyone. I'm Imana Amawe. Well, before we get deep into the matters, let's begin with some of the top political stories.
Political roundup on Channels Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
You were at the tribunal to say that the election was not rigged, at the lower tribunal.
I didn't say that. They asked me a question. They asked so many questions. And because I was the closest to Governor Fayose, I was the principal witness immediately after the election. I was the principal witness. That is to tell you that the genesis from is coming into the party, is hijacking the party through Right Honorable Femi Bamishila and myself, and then doing his waiver. I did his waiver for him.
You remember Dr. Aluko, a former People's Democratic Party secretary in Ekiti State, who was a guest on Sunday Politics, revealing the manner of funding for the party's campaigns and activities in the governorship election of 2014. He has lost the bid to stop his arrest and prosecution after Chief Magistrate Soji Adegboye of an Ado-Ekiti Chief Magistrate Court struck out his motion on notice, seeking the setting aside of the warrant of arrest issued against him on February the 3rd, 2016. Dr. Aluko is being accused of alleged perjury. He filed a motion to challenge the jurisdiction of the Chief Magistrate Court to issue the warrant of arrest against him for allegedly committing the offence during an interview on Channels Television's political program, Sunday Politics. Dr. Aluko made very strong confessions on what he said was his role and that of his party in the manner in which the military and other security agencies were influenced for the party at the time. He also showed documents implicating his party and some members of his party on the funding for the exercise.
You are saying that the election was rigged?
Yes.
The election in Ekiti?
Yes.
Akwa Ibom State in Nigeria's South-South region, the Independent Electoral Commission has met with stakeholders ahead of the March 12, 2016 rerun elections in the state. The meeting was attended by representatives of political parties and members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, comprising of heads of security agencies in the state, National Orientation Agency, the NYSC, and all core stakeholders in the electoral process, with the Commissioner of Police as chairman. According to the REC, the meeting was a follow-up to the Commission's meeting with stakeholders in all local government areas where elections will hold on Saturday.
We have on our own part, as INEC, met with various political stakeholders, not only at the state level, but also in all the local government areas where elections will hold. Indeed, the whole of last week, we were able to do that. I believe that some of you here were also in those meetings. This joint meeting we are holding today is in continuation of that effort. And it is intended to bring the various political parties to also meet with members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. Because I noticed that in the course of meeting with the various political parties across the local government areas, there were questions that also hinge on security. And we feel that it is proper that the ICSES should meet with all the political parties so that such questions could be addressed.
And to Cross River State, where stakeholders are meeting to ensure that the rerun election slated for Saturday is peaceful. All political parties and stakeholders have signed a peace accord, as the Nigerian Police Command says it will not compromise on anything that will cause breach of peace, unruly conduct, and any other act likely to cause a breakdown of law and order ahead of Saturday's rerun election in Yaka local government area of the state. To this end, the force is calling on all politicians, stakeholders, and political actors, directly or indirectly involved in the election, to play the game according to the rules or face the full wrath of the law.
Violators of this accord will be dealt with seriously. You all know me, I joke and laugh, but when it comes to the war, I don't tolerate nonsense. Please, don't let us violate what we have signed today.
The All Progressives Congress in Niger State says it has suspended the 3 senators and 6 members of the House of Representatives representing the state at the National Assembly over what it called the non-payment of dues to the party. Channel Television's correspondent in the state reports that the secretary of the party in the state, Barrister Mohammed Liman, made the statement at the state party secretariat in Minna, disclosing that out of the 13 legislators at both chambers of the National Assembly produced by the party, only 4 Federal House of Representatives members have paid their dues. According to Mr. Liman, the constitution of our party is very clear on it. It says any member or political appointee that came into being through the platform of our party and fails to pay his dues is technically not a member of the party. The Constitution says you must pay your dues as at when due, and this means technically they have suspended themselves. He went further to say that those we elected did not deem it fit to support the party financially, and how do they want the party to move on? They have deliberately refused to pay their dues. They stand suspended technically. It is only 4 House of Representatives members and all State Assembly members that have complied.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Well, now to the issues of the day. Let's start off from the issues relating to the Kogi State, to the Ekiti Gate saga, the 2014 governorship election in Ekiti State. You remember the interview with the former PDP secretary in the state, Dr. Tope Aluko, who came forward with damning revelations about the funding of the party at the campaigns and how the military was used in the run-up to the election. After the interview, Dr. Aluko was called in for questioning by the DSS, and thereafter a magistrate court in the state ordered his arrest. He also moved to stop it, but the court has stopped him. Let's get more perspectives into the Ekiti Gate saga and all the damning revelations made by Dr. Aluko and the drama that has ensued at the court. Well, let's go to our Abuja studio, where Dr. Austin Mweze, a political analyst, is standing by to discuss the issue. Thank you very much for joining in, Dr. Mweze. Well, with all that has transpired in the Ekiti Gate and all the revelations made by Dr. Aluko, would you say there's been any change with the way the military is being used, or any change whatsoever in our politics?
Well, the different security agencies have always been used to prosecute elections. And I'm not surprised, because even the past elections which I participated, you know, I was almost harassed by the military. And this is not right. It's ordinary elections, and they take it as if I don't know why the military should be used. That means that the military don't have any other job to do, you know. And the police should be able to handle some of these things, you know. And the Nigerian politics, I keep saying, is a do-or-die affair. There's too much struggle for power, and at the end of the day, you get power, you're confused, you don't know what to do. Governance is thrown you know, and the people, the benefits of democracy doesn't trickle down to the masses, you know. So it's quite an unfortunate system, political system that we operate. And I don't know how sustainable it is. It's actually from the beginning meant for, you know, to brew crisis.
All right, Dr. Mweze, don't you, just a moment.
Our politicians are not.
Just a moment, Dr. Mweze. Don't you see the whole situation and all what has played up as a game changer in any way? Is there no difference this whole situation has created in the polity?
Well, it has, because one is that we need to be careful here. You know, in the case of Ekiti State, if it's happening in another place, it will be understandable. But in the case of Ekiti State, the governor, Fayose, has been very vocal and very critical of the present administration. And in fact, I have been expecting this kind of thing to happen, because you discover that, you know, to shut him up, that's the governor of Ekiti State, there must be something that, you know, the opposition or the enemies, so-called political this thing, they must find ways of, you know, either getting him out of that place or making him to keep quiet, you know. But it's all part of democracy, and all these things coming up, it will work out if well managed. Will work out for good, so that they will know that, you know, it's no longer business as usual. In the past, where they used many means of, you know, winning elections, and we hope that this kind of thing will sanitize the system. You know, it's a good development in a way, but I hope that it's not some form of witch hunting or, you know, getting someone to shut up.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mweze.
Democracy is all about...
All right, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on that issue.